Hey, Heather here, and welcome to my video tour of the WordPress dashboard. In the last two videos, we covered how to set up your domain for your blog, which is like your blog address, using hover.com. In the second video in this series, we set up your web hosting and your WordPress site using SiteGround. We also redirected your domain from Hover to SiteGround so they hooked up. It took my domain about 15 minutes to resolve or to connect up with my web hosting, and so now my site looks like this, which is a really generic WordPress site. WordPress just installs the default theme and SiteGround installs one default post. And so I'm going to show you how to log into your dashboard and also how to set up a few settings and a general tour, because the dashboard is where you're going to spend all your time on your blog. So there's a couple ways to log into your dashboard. The first way is to go to SiteGround, go to Login, and log into your SiteGround account, and it's going to take you to your desktop or your dashboard. I'm going to click on My Accounts. Next to the name of my host, I'm going to click on Go to Admin Panel. It's going to take me to this page. Now, you should have gotten an email. This is the username you selected or the email address you used, then the password that you set up when we set up WordPress in the last video. So one thing to know is sometimes WordPress, especially new installations, can be really picky the first time you sign in. So if your username doesn't work, try your email address. If you just can't get your password to work, try it a couple times. If it doesn't work, click on this Lost Your Password link. It'll send you a password reset link in your email, and go ahead and reset your password, and that usually works. Sometimes WordPress just gets really finicky. You're going to see the first time it didn't work, and I used the exact same information the second time it did. Sometimes WordPress is just crazy. Anyway, here's our dashboard. This is what you're going to see when you sign in. So another way to get into your site would also be from your default site. You'll see under here, this would normally say login. So site admin will take you to site admin. So here we are. This is the address for my admin site, so that's where I logged into. So the home dashboard really isn't very helpful. It's just kind of a general overview. It has some quick widgets. I don't spend much time on here. The most important links are all these guys over here, because they're going to be where you go to write your posts and things like that. So we're on my dashboard home. On dashboard updates, if WordPress or a theme needs an update, and I actually have a theme that needs an update, so I can show you that process real quick. All my plugins are up to date, but this theme, so I'm just going to select it. I'm going to click Update Theme, and that's it. It's updated. So you might want to check there. Sometimes there's a little like circular icon up here, right? Usually right in between here, that shows you that you need updates, or you can go straight to the updates page. The Jetpack link. Jetpack is a collection of modules and features produced by WordPress.com and Automatic. It includes things like related posts, widget, and all kinds of other things. It's a monster plugin, and we'll talk about it when we get to plugins, so right now just ignore it. The next link is posts. This is where you're going to go to write your posts. So you'll see there's a couple fake posts in here already. When you want to create a new post, just click on Add New, and this is what the post editor looks like. So you just type in a title. Down here is where you start editing your post. So you can add pictures by clicking Add Media. So you can upload a file by going in here and selecting the files. You can also create a gallery. So that's a kind of a grid of multiple pictures. You can create audio playlists or video playlists. If you already have pictures uploaded, you would find them in the media library. And so you would upload them and then click Insert into Post. You also have the option to set some different styles like headings, bold and italic, bullet points, numbering, alignment. This is how you add a link. So I would just highlight what's called the anchor text, and then put my link in and click apply, and that's now a link. You can see that. This is an insert read more tag, so if you have a long post and you want to only show what's called an excerpt on your blog page, you would add a read more tag. And then this toolbar toggle toggles these extra tools down here, which include things like horizontal line or changing your text color, adding some special characters. They're just some extra tools you can use. On the right side, there's some really important boxes. This is the publish box. So you can save your post as a draft. You can preview it in a new window. You can also schedule your post, which is a super handy tool that I just love. So click on that edit link and you can change the date, and you'll see how this says publish. So this is set to publish immediately. If I change this to August and click OK, now it's going to be schedule. So this is awesome. You could schedule a couple weeks of posts in advance. So like when you go on vacation or something just happens in life, you can have those posts and they just automatically publish the minute you set them to schedule. So these are post formats. This is going to depend on your particular theme. Not all themes support all formats. So formats are things like videos, audio. So if you're doing like a SoundCloud, quotes. So those you'll need to explore based on the theme you pick. Categories are how you organize your posts. They're super important in blogging. So for example, on my blog, I have categories like save money and make money and blogging. And then I have subcategories under each of those main categories. So you can see in this blog, I have a food category and a subcategory would be breakfast. And you can add new categories right from in a post. So let's say I want to add a lunch category. And I'm going to make food the parent category. I'm just add new category. And this is added lunch, and say if I wanted to add food, I'm adding those categories. And those are great for organizing your blog. Tags are similar to categories. I think of them as a little more specific. So for example, say this is a lunch that has like a sandwich recipe in it. So I'm going to add a sandwich tag. And then the last box is a featured image box. So this is the image that a lot of times, it depends on your theme, but it will go at the top of your post, or it might go on your blog page or in a slider. So you're going to want to add a featured image to your most of your posts. And you might have to check your theme documentation to see what's the appropriate size, but you just click on this link and you'll upload an image and set your image. And then once you're done, you'll either save your draft, your schedule, or you'll publish your posts. So the next link is categories. Categories is where you can add all your categories. You can do it in your post or on this page. When I'm starting a new blog, I like to pre-organize all my categories, and I'll just come in here and set them all up. For example, you'll see food, which is a parent category, and then it has breakfast and lunch down under it. If you don't assign a category to your posts, they will get an uncategorized category. You have to have a category assigned to your posts. It's just not optional in WordPress for some reason. So you also have a tags page, which is very similar. You'll see my sandwich tag in here. These don't have parent and child categories or subcategories. It's just a single tab or a single tag. The next link is media. This is where you would upload your images, your videos, anything like that. Anything that gets uploaded in a post will end up in here too. So to add new, you just click add new. You can add them by bulk, so you can just drag a whole bunch in here and they'll just load up. Or you can select file by clicking select file and going straight to your computer. The next tab is pages. Pages are static content, so they're not going to show up in your blog roll of all your blog posts. They don't go by date. They're great for things like about me and contact, work with me, any kind of page like that. So if you click add new, then it looks a lot like the post editor, but with a few less options. So you're going to put your title in. You would create your page just like you would a blog post, exactly the same. You can schedule these, although I don't know why you'd schedule a page, but maybe you would want to. You can save draft. And you can also set a featured image, although not a lot of themes use the page featured image. Most just use the post featured image. So that's where you create a page. The next link is the comments link. This is where you moderate any comments that come in on your posts. You can get a lot of spam comments, so we're going to add, in a later video, we're going to add a plugin called Akismet, and that will help moderate your comments for you. But this is where you come in and approve comments and reply to comments, and interacting with your readers is a really great way to build a community with your blog. So this is where you want to come to manage all those comments. The next link, which is super important, is appearance. And this is where you set your blog theme and you customize it and you set up your widgets and that kind of thing. So on the themes page, you can add a new theme. So WordPress comes installed with a few. This one I actually added. It usually just comes with these 3 generic default themes. There's a thing called the WordPress repository, theme repository, which has about 6,000 free themes that you can use. And there's all kinds of themes. There's magazine themes, blog themes, shop themes, business themes. They're all free. Some of them are really great. Some of them are not so great. And they're free, so you kind of get what you pay for. But there's some really great ones. And if you're on a budget, there's nothing wrong with starting with a free theme. Nothing wrong at all. So when you first click on this new theme, you're going to see that there's only about 15 featured themes. If you want to see more, I would click on latest. And it's going to show you there's 6,102 themes in the repository. And these are going to show the most recent all the way down to forever, all 6,000. And you can see there's all different kinds. There's some really great ones for blogs. That's a pretty new one. There's some really great ones coming out right now. So you can click in, see the details and preview. And it'll actually preview it on your blog for you. Just to show you, this one looks like it has kind of a grid layout, maybe with a first full post, or maybe a slider. I'm not sure what that is, but you can read the details. Some of them have more information than others. Like this one has a lot more information. And when you pick one you want to install, then you just click on the install button. And you can either live preview it or you can activate it from here. I'm going to show you how to customize, and that's the best place to really set up your theme. So instead, let's go to customize. And this is the theme customizer, and this is where you're going to do all your setup for your blog. You can pretty much do everything from here. So you'll see these little pencil icons, and that's just telling you there's something there that you can edit. And if you click on it, it will take you right to the panel over here you need. And you'll see you can edit right in here. You could also upload a logo. There's all these different tabs. You can change your theme from in here. So let's change it to this theme. And I'm going to click a live preview. And this shows me a live preview. It's not actually live on my site yet. This just shows me a live preview if I decide I want to use this theme. How to set it up. So I have some color options. This theme actually has a fair number of color options. I can come in and change my colors. I have a background image option. My menus. So menus can get a little confusing for new bloggers. You have to set up your menus in WordPress. So I'm just going to create a new menu. I'm going to give it a name. And then I'm going to assign it to one of my menu locations. This theme actually has 4 menu locations. So it has primary, top header left, top header right, and social menu. So I'm just going to pick primary for now. I'm going to click next. And then I'm going to start adding items. So it already has my home page. So I'm going to add, let's see, a category. This is a great way. People want to see like just a page of just their food posts. You're going to add that. I'm going to add my home page here. If I look under pages, oh, those must have been. Let's add another category, and then I can, if you drag it over, it puts it under it. And so if I hover over it, it now has a drop down. It's really drag and drop. It's pretty easy. So you want to add my lunch and drag it over. And now I've got a couple drop downs like that. So adding a menu is pretty easy. You might want to save what you're working on, and you can definitely do that. But we haven't activated yet, so we're not going to do that quite yet. So widgets are the next thing. Widgets are these things over here. So like the search, the blog, the recent posts. Each of these sections is a widget area. So there's a sidebar, and then it looks like there's a 3-column footer, 1, 2, 3, and then this footer bottom. And then there's probably an Instagram, one of those full width Instagram galleries. So click on the widget area you want, and then it shows you the widgets that are already here. If you want to remove a widget, open it up, say I don't want the archives, and just click remove. Or you could change your settings. Say if you wanted to, I want less recent posts, I just want 3. Do that. And then to add a widget, you just click add a widget, and then it's going to show you all the different options you have. This particular theme has, you see these brimstone, that's the name of the theme, has some special, like it has a slider. It has some special widgets, and then there's some default widgets like recent posts and search. So to add a new widget, you could just add a tag cloud. So that's how you add new widgets. And then sometimes a theme will have theme options. So it has different button styles. For setting up your theme, I would really check out your blog or your theme documentation for whatever theme you end up with. So that is the customizer page. So that's, you're going to spend, when you first get started setting up your theme, that's where you're going to spend a lot of time. And that actually covers all these specific tabs. Now this has been added, install plugins. This particular theme has some recommended plugins, and you'll see that with a lot of themes. So you can just click the begin installing plugins. You can install plugins in a bulk. So I'm going to click them all, click install, click apply. And then I need to activate them all. So I've now installed and activated all these plugins, which takes me to the next screen, which is the plugins page. So this is going to list all your installed plugins, and since I have WooCommerce that wants to try and set up WooCommerce, but we're not going to do that right now. So let's go back to the plugins page. And it's going to show me all the plugins I have installed. The thing about plugins is don't go crazy with them, but you can find some really useful plugins that really help your site and provide features that you want. So if you want to deactivate a plugin, you just click deactivate. If you want to see what settings it has, you can go to the settings. If you want to add new plugins, just like there are free themes, there are tons of free plugins. So just click the add new. And these are going to be some featured plugins. To search for more plugins, you can just search up here, say like you're looking for a Pinterest plugin. Just type in Pinterest and it's going to show you all the options. Like I said, all of these are free. There's such a thing as paid plugins too, but those you have to go outside and find. But there's all these free plugins that you can learn about. There's ratings on them. You can get more details to see exactly what they do. When you want to add one, you just hit install now and then activate. Some of them will take you right to their settings page, some of them may not. So you can check in here to see if they have any settings, or they might be added. So you'll see there's now a Pinterest Pin It button link down here. And I'm going to go there, and then I can set up all my settings for the Pinterest Pin It button. So the next section is users. It would be where you would set your profile. So if I want to edit my profile, if I want to change like the nickname that it shows, or my display name, which is good to change, your biography, your profile picture, anything like that you can change in here. Tools, you can import and export content, so if you're importing or exporting content from another WordPress site. Settings are really important panel too. So this is where you set the name of your blog, your tagline. Don't mess with these. You can change your email address. You do have to confirm it if you decide. You can set membership settings. You can set your time zone, which I find to be a really good idea to do. And I am in the Denver time zone. You can set your date format for your posts if you prefer a different format. You can set your time format, and you can set the week or the day of the week your week starts on as any day, and then click Save Your Changes. Time zone is probably the most important one to change. There's writing settings. You can set a default post category instead of uncategorized, and that way it saves you a little time when you write a post. If there's your most used category, just do that. I wouldn't really mess with your mail server or anything else. Reading settings. This is for your front page. This will tell it how many posts you want to show on your blog page at a time. So if you just want 6 instead of 10, This is for your RSS feed, how many posts should go out on your RSS feed. Whether you want to show full text or summary in your RSS feed, this doesn't affect your blog page. That one does. And then click Save Changes. Discussion has to do with some comment settings. You can go through those and just see what you think suits you. The next one I want to go to is permalinks. This one is important. You don't want your permalinks to have all these numbers in them. Go down, change your comment settings to post name. That is the setting you want to have for the best permalinks for SEO. If you're doing a shop, that's what this optional ones are. But the most important one to change is your comment setting. And then click Save. And then privacy is something important since GDPR got passed. This page can help you set up you can create a new privacy page because your site's going to need some privacy pages. And that's covered later in the guide that I have. So I hope you found this dashboard overview helpful. It's not all inclusive. There's a lot more stuff that you can learn about, but this should get you comfortable on, okay, where do I write a post? Where do I change my theme? That kind of thing. So happy blogging.